Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about... Nope. That one. Mission Impossible 4. Ghost Protocol.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky. I don't have the spooky one anymore. I switched it for... It was a normal summer day. Until it wasn't. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Taking care of life things, but
taking care of business.
Sometimes it's good to take a moment out of the week and talk about movies with you.
Yeah. I just cracked open a beverage. I had a Modelo Agua Fresca Piña, which means pineapple.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But since I already did the booze, I'm on to Golden Bear Light Strawberry Lemonade. This is superb.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's made by...
It says Arizona.
It does?
On the side.
There it is. Okay. I couldn't
It's the only thing I can see.
I couldn't find it. It's on the other side of the can. I don't have a 360 view.
Yeah.
Until I turn
fun.
it, I guess. Now I have a 360
The
view.
bear is fun, though.
The bear is great.
Logo. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
I've got a peach nectarine cider from Bivouac Cider Works here in where I live.
Here in Hearsville.
Here and where I live.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So let's go ahead and talk about this movie a little bit. Went into my Casey Kasem there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
This movie was directed by Brad Bird, produced by Tom Cruise, J.J. Abrams, and Brian Burke, and something to notice... I should have looked this up before. Oh, yes, now I remember. I couldn't remember her name. This is the first one that does not have Paula Wagner a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because Cruise and Wagner Productions disbanded in 2008. And so we have, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. The production company TC Productions is just Tom Cruise Productions, with Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams' production company, Skydance Media. Do we know who that is? I don't know who that is.
Who's Skydance?
Let me look that up.
Who's going to get there first? Oh, I went to their website.
David Illison. I have no idea who that is. He doesn't look familiar at all.
Nope.
I'm no clue. Anyway, Skydance. And, of course, Paramount Pictures, which is CBS. I always have to remember that. Screenwriter, Josh Applebaum. Andre Nemec. Rated PG-13. It's an action, adventure, mystery, and thriller. I like that they put mystery and thriller together. They are always together. They are never separated. Rather than a May opening, which has been... Oh, what? What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say the mystery thriller is very similar to musical comedy, where like those aren't necessarily the same thing. But
right.
Anyway,
I mean,
go ahead.
Have you ever seen Rent? There's jokes, but it is not a comedy. But it is a musical. And it pulls at your heartthreads. Anyway, rather than May release, summer release, this one released December 21st. So a Christmas release, 2011. Ooh. Or Hanukkah. I don't know what it was in 2011, but it could have been. Had a budget of $145 million, which honestly, it feels like these are all kind of toting the same line as far as budget goes. None of them have been just extreme compared to the rest. They've all been around the same ballpark. It grossed in the US $209 million and worldwide almost $700 million. So it was an absolute banger.
Yep. This became, at the time, Tom Cruise's highest grossing film.
Makes sense. I mean, you know, to be perfectly frank, so this came out 2011. So 1996, 2000, so we have 4 years. 2006, so we have 6 years. 2011, we have almost 6 years, around 5 years. So these do not, until the next one, do not come very close to each other. They're released with a big buffer between them.
Yeah.
I don't remember the ad campaign for this. I don't remember there being hype. I just think that 2008 to the pandemic, I would probably say, so 2020, was just an excellent time for movies.
Yeah.
If you made a blockbuster, there was a solid chance it was going to do really well, regardless of the quality of the film.
Yeah. And this was like right in the prime of like the Marvel movies and everything.
Right.
So
this was literally dumb word to use. This was about 6 months before the Avengers released.
Right.
I believe the Avengers was 2012. Now I'm just curious. Yeah, so it is working on the hype of that kind of action film, which may have been the choice for them to go with a December release rather than a summer release. Maybe they were actually planning ahead and went, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't.
I'm curious to see what other movies were released that summer.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the two prime times to release a movie is right before summer and Christmas.
Yeah.
Those tend to be when the big hitters land.
Okay. They made a good choice. They made a very good choice in avoiding summer. The Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, Amazing Spider-Man, Brave, Ted, Men in Black 3, which actually, Men in Black 3 was surprisingly good.
You're looking at 2012?
2012, summer of 2012. So Avengers was May 4th, which would have been around the time that a Mission Impossible movie would have been released. Everything else is kind of sporadic. Magic Mike, The Bourne Legacy. Maybe they did do... Maybe it was smart to release it in the winter because there is a lot. I forgot that they remade Total Recall.
Oh, yeah.
That came out that summer. Anyway.
Just to look at the other summer, because like they probably were
the
debating
previous
like
summer. Yeah.
2011, 2012. Within that, there was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, Hangover Part 2, Pirates of the Caribbean Stranger Tides, Cars 2, Thor, Captain America First Avenger, Bridesmaids.
Man, there was a lot of misses there.
A lot of misses, but a lot of things that like had momentum going.
I'm gonna say something of a bit of controversy. Not a fan of Bridesmaids. Not a fan.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. So I was looking because I was trying to figure out, was there hype kind of thing with Tom Cruise. But he had the movie Night and Day, which was
with Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, and that was the previous year. And then before that, it was Valkyrie, which I don't remember if we talked on camera or not. I've never seen that movie.
Right.
I kind of refuse to see that movie because it's bonkers to me that it's set in Nazi Germany and not a single person has a German accent. They're either American or English. And even Hitler's German accent is like, "Ja, Hitler." Like it's not a very good accent.
Yeah.
No, I take it back. The actor does a fine accent, but when you're thinking of Hitler, it's kind of on the light end of accents.
Right.
Anyway, side tangent. With that being said, no particular reason for this to have done as well as it did. The advertising machine must have been doing a good job, other than it having Brad Bird behind it. But I don't know if they would have pushed that. And I don't know if that would have been enough to bring about such a positive response, because The Incredibles was before this. Trying to think of other stuff he did prior to this. I think Ratatouille was after this.
He did
Iron Giant. He was a supervisor and director on The Simpsons. That's actually where I first heard about Brad Bird. I enjoyed the heck out of his work there. And it's
interesting to see that like this was his first live action.
Yeah. Okay. So Iron Giant, Incredibles, and Ratatouille. That's it for the previous 11 years. And then this was his first live action feature. He did direct an episode of a TV show in the 80s. So he did have some experience.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that would have been enough to
I don't
bring
think
a huge.
I don't think he was the pull.
Yeah.
I think maybe the previous movie, Mission Impossible 3, was enough to get the hype going for
Possibly.
this one.
Even though, 5 or so years. Maybe Jeremy Renner. He was hot. He was hot at that time.
Yeah, because he was coming off of being.
Well, he was about to be. Yes.
Hawkeye, but he was coming off of Hurt Locker.
Oh.
And that's what was like
that movie
his
was
first
huge for him. Yeah, 2008.
And
I remember him in SWAT. When he was a young nobody.
And he did get introduced in the Thor movie. So like but he wasn't like a big deal in that one.
He was also in The Town right before this, which was a Ben Affleck film, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was up and coming for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, side tangent. They made a lot of money. It was in the right time and the right place at the right time. And it did really well. It is starring Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg. I almost said Simone Pegg. Simon Pegg. And Paula Patton. Now, these are the ones that are top billed. We do have a few instances where in credits, people were just given a name or a title, or they weren't credited at all. So we have another issue where the IMF secretary was not credited.
He wasn't credited?
He wasn't credited.
Although I think this is the first time we've seen the secretary.
Yes.
Who's the person actually in charge.
Which I wonder if that's, a writing nuance. This felt, we'll get to it, but this felt more, and this feels stupid to say because it's a movie, it's a fictional movie, but agency accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Like it actually felt like they worked for a real agency, even though in the previous movie we saw the agency and they, we saw their building and it was this whole thing. There was something more put together with how it wasn't seen, but we just heard terms and heard different things. And it was like, there's a chain of command. There's this, and that existed in the third one, but for whatever reason, there was a little more nuance to it here that made it feel a little more real. It was odd.
Interesting. Yeah.
Anyway. Recap! Rewind! That's right. We now transition into a segment called Recap Rewind, where one of us, give you, the audience, our recap of the film in our own stupid way. And this week, it falls on yours truly, Tom Cruise. After the critical and financial success of The Incredibles, Tom Cruise hires director Brad Bird to lead the new chapter in the Ethan Hunt story. Before we get to Ethan, we start with another agent with a chiseled jaw, a rugged good looks, and running on a rooftop away from bad guy with guns. He jumps off a building, throwing a crash pad, shooting the bad guys in the process of falling, and safely landing on the now inflated crash pad. Now that is some spy movie magic. As he checks his back to see while he checks his bag to see if he still has the document he was after, he gets a notification on his fancy iPhone 4, but is immediately shot and killed by a stranger walking by. It is revealed on said iPhone 4 that the stranger is an assassin, and we cut to a prison in Russia? There, we see Ethan Hunt defying physics by throwing an oddly shaped rock into two corners with jagged bricks, and somehow that rock manages to bounce right back to him. Cut to our old friend Benji working on his computer with camera images of the prison. Benji then releases a prisoner who beats the life out of a guard and uses that as cover to release Ethan. A whole lot of chaos happens when Ethan inconveniently retrieves another inmate and they escape together. They meet up on the rendezvous spot and light the fuse to the opening credit sequence full of just terrible CGI and lots of spoilers. We return to the escape vehicle where Ethan infers that he was in the prison on purpose and that the state of affairs outside must be dire. He then gets his mission: break into the Kremlin and steal Russian nuclear codes before the mysterious extremist Cobalt steals them first. Ethan's team consists of Benji and Jane, Paula Patton, the former partner of the fallen agent. I almost said angel. Agent. I'm not going to spend too much time describing this sequence, except that it is probably the most Mission Impossible we've seen thus far. And some of the technology is pretty cool. Ethan makes it to where the launch codes should be. The keywords there are should and be. Someone has nicked them before the team could get there, and that certain someone has also hijacked the radio signal and alerts the Russians to Ethan's position. Mission is aborted, and they are able to make it out, but only right before a bomb goes off, destroying a huge portion of the Kremlin. Ethan is caught in the blast and eventually caught by the authorities. A cocky detective interrogates him, but of course, Ethan escapes. Ethan is picked up by analyst Brandt, Jeremy Renner, and Carmine Falcone himself, the IMF director, Tom Wilkinson. Secretary Falcone explains that they are in too deep doo-doo, and they are now in Ghost Protocol. Basically, Ethan now has to do all the stuff he's done in the prior movies, but he finally actually has official permission to do it. It's not sanctioned, but it is actually a mission. Hooray!
Hooray.
We should all... Mother... Yes, let us applaud. He's finally doing a mission. While it is not sanctioned, it is an official mission, which is what he was doing in all the other ones. Anyway, I digress. Ethan is able to gather the identity of Cobalt as Hendrix, Michael Nikivitz, a Swiss scientist who went crazy and now believes that the only way to peace is nuclear war. Neat! Their car is attacked. Falcone dies. And Brandt and Ethan escape in a very Ethan way. Brandt takes a moment after the fact to question the logic of Ethan's plan, almost breaking the fourth wall. We are then back with Jane and Benji in a train car with a new mission. Some really convoluted stuff with hardly any equipment and no IMF to back them up. So they head to Dubai to intercept the codes and stop Hendrix. Stuff falls further apart, and Ethan has to rock climb on a glass building with somehow no single person noticing him. The plan essentially all works, but a scientist is killed, an asset of the assassin from earlier is killed by Jane. Brandt is like super suspicious, and who we thought to be Hendrix's right-hand man turned out to be Hendrix himself, defying the odds of an elderly man. Emotions fly, accusations are levied, and Ethan leaves everyone to go speak with an arms dealer. While that's happening, Brandt retells the story of how he actually has met Ethan before, or seen Ethan before, when Brandt was in charge of security detail for Ethan and Julie, his wife, and how Brandt failed and allowed Julia to be killed. Everyone makes up somehow, and they go on a more crazy mission to stop Hendrix from destroying the world. We see a little of our old friend, misogyny, as Jane is used as a sex object to seduce and get satellite codes from a rich creep. Long story short, she gets the codes, they stop Hendrix, and somehow Ethan gets his ass handed to him by someone who's like 10 or 20 years his senior. The day is saved. Everyone has their job back. Luther pops in just to crap on everyone. And we find out that Ethan's wife, Julia, is alive and safe. Oh, and the superhero ban is lifted, and Mr. Incredible can save the world again.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. No. It's okay. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'll bring it back one more time.
Oh, you guys are too kind. Anyway, yeah. So what'd you think of the film overall?
I think, whoa, sorry, my formatting for my thing got weird. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I remembered liking it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's super interesting.
It kind of feels like it's one big chase scene.
Yeah.
This one went like all in the Tom Cruise running.
He ran so much.
A lot.
He ran a lot.
Yeah. At least once in every country that they went to.
Yeah. He got his steps in, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. It did feel like in some ways they took some of the notes from the previous movie and implemented some of those improvements.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a complete step forward with this one. Like it wasn't 100% like all there, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think overall it's a good movie. It's a good action adventure movie. Mystery, not so much. Thriller, a bit. It had notes of spy-worthy. And it had some of the most, at this point, what feels as though the most quintessential Mission Impossible missions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Those segments were really good. The camera work was fun. The color coding on it, a lot better.
Yeah, the color grade was like so much better.
Color grade, that's it. Color grade. Not as
there were some lens flares.
There were some lens flares. J.J. Abrams did produce it, so I feel like he had last say on that. He's like, if you want me to produce this, minimum 14 lens flares.
14. Real quick.
Yes.
I have to do a moment of in defense of J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
With lens flares. He likes to use an anamorphic lens.
Uh-huh.
And an anamorphic lens is what makes those lens flares.
They turn into animals?
Yes, it's like Animorphs. But it turns everything into lens flares instead of animals.
Got it.
No, it's the style of lens. It creates lens flares because of the way the light hits.
I know.
The type of lens.
I know.
I just gotta. We gotta get technical for a moment.
Also, in argument against J.J. Abrams, he has lens flares in completely CGI developed scenes.
I understand. It's not a full defense of it. It's just more of like, let's have some technical jargon in the middle. Okay. And then he's doing a CG scene that's supposed to match the anamorphic look, but then he adds more than he should. We get it.
We're just trying to convince the world we know a little bit to even have an opinion on this stuff. Because we really don't. We don't deserve this.
I have a tiny one that I can show you, which is just for you, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
The tiny anamorphic lens.
Mm-hmm. It's not the size that matters, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll describe it but it's like, do you see how it's already creating that?
Yeah.
Like, so it's a rectangular thing instead of a round lens.
Oh, okay.
And the way that it captures the light is that it creates
it's already
lines.
Bending. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just looking at the lens, not looking through it. So maybe we'll put that. I don't know if we're going to use that video at all, but I tried to describe it as best as I can.
Oh, that's fine. That's a nice tidbit. That's a nice tidbit.
Anyway.
No, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair. It's cool. It looks it looks cool. It's just
nothing like a little show and tell for an audio format.
It's the best format to do it. There's no other venue that you should be showing things physically than in an audio format.
Yeah, it's the best.
So overall, it's pretty good. Did it have its moments of flawed delivery, whatever it might be? Absolutely. There were several points. And in defense of the film, I've watched this movie a lot of times. Not recently, but I have watched this movie a lot. But there were definitely points where I was bored.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that might not be the fault of the film, but those moments are there.
Right.
So I think, I don't know if it's something I disliked or liked or whatever it might be, but I do think with pacing, so much happens in a 10 or 15 minute window, and then it feels like nothing happens for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
then it ramps up again.
Yeah,
and then it's maybe 20 minutes of build up that's actually leading somewhere, and then 10 minutes of action, and then 5 minutes of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have something to do with that aspect of it. But anywho, do you want to start with what you like best or what you like least?
Let's start with what we liked best.
Okay. You want to go
I
first?
think, I think that what I liked best was I enjoyed the team. Like, even though there was some like headbutting in there, that felt like it was actually like
Good.
reading into the situation that they were in. Like, it's people that haven't necessarily worked together, and also they're in this highly stressful situation.
Right.
So I thought that was good. And I liked that we were bringing in a more complex, the most complex and capable female agent / character that we've seen, where to the point that she was a team leader.
Right.
And the only reason why she's not the team leader here is because they brought Ethan in.
Right.
But I think I enjoyed the team. Even Jeremy Renner's character coming in was like, it was a good addition to the team.
The team worked really, really well when they worked well together, and when they butt heads together, it all led to something else.
Yeah.
You know, it was building the tension within the group to build suspicion on certain people, and it felt like they had done it well.
Mm-hmm.
With Jane, I liked her for the most part. There were some times where her ability and what we understand as her station in the group within the IMF and everything was put to the side to then fulfill the role of beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, great. By the end of the movie, it was one of those moments of, oh darn, I wish they would have brought her back, or could have brought her back, whatever the reason may have been that they couldn't. She would have been good to see again.
Yeah.
Benji was great.
Mm-hmm.
Brant was a good addition. His behind the desk kind of history as informing how he reacts to the situations was actually really helpful, because it almost felt as though you have this impossible mission and then there's like an audience member sitting in with them going, no, we can't do that.
Wait, how does that? Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. I thought his, like the reveal of his character was also interesting, because up to that point, they did a really good job of making him seem like this kind of meek analyst, and then like only thinking in that way. But then when he like disassembles the gun and like fights for the first time, we as the audience are like, wait, he knows a lot more than just how to be behind a computer.
And they made him good as an analyst. He seemed very knowledgeable, just being able to look at Ethan's crude drawing and determine who it was. He really has his information in his head.
Yeah. Yeah. It does make me wonder why he put on the facade of being so meek at the beginning.
Right.
Like that seems like maybe he just didn't. Oh, I guess he was kind of hiding from Ethan.
Right.
So I guess that
I
makes
don't
sense.
think he wanted Ethan to find out that he was in the field, and then eventually putting two and two together of he was on the detail, whatever it may. It makes sense in the grand scheme of it.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you like?
It was mostly what I have written down was that I liked the team. This one was weird because it was like, it's an enjoyable movie, but I didn't feel like there was a lot of moments that stood out. Like the action was good, but it wasn't like amazing. Like the scene of him climbing the tower was like crazy. And it kind of makes your stomach drop watching that whole thing. So like that's good. But like I feel like they relied too much on he's either running or driving a car or both. And like that felt like what all of the action was in this movie.
Interesting.
So like not even that felt impressive to me. Where in the last one it like stood out because we were comparing it to the John Woo movie, and then this one, or in Mission Impossible 3, like it felt like this is better type of action. This one just kind of like it was a continuation of that, but I don't know. It didn't stand out to me. There wasn't a lot of
the Kremlin felt
stuff.
More Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that was fun
than anything in 3 or before, because it was really contingent on their abilities as spies. So Benji had to speak Russian, and Ethan did too, and they really had to embody the character, which felt very spy. And that scene with the projector was really cool, and it hit those spy tension moments where you kind of have to hold your breath as it's happening, because you're like, if that security guard hears me breathing, they're gonna get caught. So they did that really well. So there are aspects that I think they did really, really well. I don't think
I agree.
I think so let's put it like this. The Mission Impossible sequences were great. Some of the action sequences lackluster. And I put those in 2 different categories. So
I agree.
What's the scene I'm thinking of? There was definitely a scene where he was fighting some guys in a small space. Did that happen in this movie, or am I just melting them all together?
I mean, there was the hotel room. They fought in the hotel room.
Maybe it was that. So I guess I feel like one of the issues, which you said your piece, so we can kind of trickle into the issues. There were too many parallels between this one and the third one, to where I almost felt like I was watching. Like there's scenes in my head that I can't actually distinguish if it was the third one or if it was this one.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And so it's that you put Ethan in a tight space with the odds against him, and he's going to kind of move through it in a really effective way. And that happened in both of them, and it kind of there are parallels. It wasn't enough to change my opinion of this over the previous one. So I guess to restate a redundant point, there are parallels, which then makes it so that it doesn't stand out from the previous one. While the Mission Impossible aspect, I do think stood out far greater than the previous one. The action didn't. The action was pretty much the same.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing I will say I did like, I do like the concept of Hendrix, and I do like the concept of the gravity of the bad guy. So what he's doing, the consequence is real, and it is a very real. If he succeeds, the world is done.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we've had something that big.
Yeah, and his motivation as
it's a good bad guy motivation.
Like, he makes sense. Like, do I agree with him? No, but I can see, like, he thinks the only way to save the world is to destroy the world, kind of thing. So, like, okay.
If you spend 20 years just mucking through war, your eventual generalization, but your eventual outlook on a solution is going to be pretty grim. Mm-hmm. So it's believable that he came to this outcome. It isn't a wild outcome, in my opinion, compared, or rather, in relation to who he is and what he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I like that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I liked, but I actually think that kind of sums it up. I like the spy mission aspect of it, the team, the consequence of what would happen if the bad guy succeeds, so that this actually feels like an impossible mission.
Right. Yeah. And with the added, like, they have no backup because everything,
which it's the same. All the plot holes we talked about in the first one, and in the third one, reconciled, because the IMF secretary basically said, with this USB card, you're going to have access to all the things you're going to need, but you're also not going to have access to these other things.
Yeah. Everything was disavowed. So,
that's what we were missing. We were missing someone saying that in the previous movies, and then no one would have had an issue probably with some of the things that happen.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they fixed that.
Yeah. As you were talking, I thought of a couple more things I liked. One, they actually used code names, which was like, they didn't use them all the time, but for the first time, they're not calling each other by their name.
On the radio, they are not using anyone's name.
Which makes me feel like they learned from Ethan's and Luther's mistake in the previous movie, and they're like, maybe we shouldn't use our real names. Which is ridiculous that it took them that long to figure out that rule.
Right. It's crazy.
Going back to, like, the Kremlin scene, like, I think that was a really fun scene to watch, because it's one of the few times that we're actually seeing them, like you said, be spies, but, like, they're not just sneaking through the vents and, like, trying to go undetected. Like, they have to talk to people and interact with people and deceive people, and we don't see that very often.
Which is like the quintessential, like, spy thing.
Yeah, and they're doing it in disguise. It's not just like Ethan walking in as Ethan and being like, I belong here.
And it wasn't a full face mask. It was some prosthetics and, hoping the hat covers the eyes enough.
Yeah. And then also something that I think is really interesting, having the projector thing, when we watch that the first time, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of a futuristic-y kind of technology. Looking at where we are now with the technology that they are making shows like The Mandalorian with, in the, I don't remember what they call the room that they film that stuff in, but, like, that technology is real. Like, the projecting something that like has the parallax effect based on the viewer, like, that's really cool to be like, that's a real technology. That's not just some outlandish thing, and this wasn't that long ago to be using that technology. So I thought that was really cool, and I enjoyed that.
Agreed. I thought it was I thought it was fantastic. It really, it at that time was something we didn't have, and even now we don't have anything that is perfectly set to that, because if you kind of logic your way through it, that projector would have to be bright enough to make everything look correct, but also dark enough to make it seem like it's not glowing. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if we have something that is that effective.
Right.
But with AI and everything we have going, to have a mechanical gimbal following the face of the person and making adjustments to the perspective, yeah, cool. That feels so plausible. Mm-hmm. There was never a point in the technology that felt unbelievable.
Right.
Which some of the other ones, it was either, I don't know, too ridiculous, or they had it and there wasn't enough of the this is how it works that your suspension of disbelief kind of gets derailed. In this one, you know, even the one where they put it on the number and it etches out the old number and puts in the new number on the hotel room with 3D printing and different things like that, it's kind of believable. I bet we could have something that does that kind of work. Mm-hmm. Sure. Nothing felt egregious.
Yeah, I agree.
Which was cool. That was a nice, kind of like a nice relief that we have a spy movie that isn't like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, where you're like, none of this could exist, but still enough to be, still enough where you're like, well, my iPhone cannot do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the like contacts, they had the contacts, but it clearly there was, it looked like there were microchip stuff involved in it, which felt believable. It felt as though, if you're going to have that technology, it couldn't be clear.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
Okay. So getting into the stuff that we didn't like.
Alrighty.
I agree that the idea of the bad guy in this one was good. I don't like the bad guy.
Yeah.
In the way that he was presented.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense that a professor is somehow an older professor is somehow like just as good of a spy and agent and fighter and like all of these things as Ethan Hunt.
So I agree with you, but they do sort of answer it in that I think in the beginning when they're trying to describe who he is, I think they'd say that he's in the Swiss Special Forces. So he has a background in intense military operations.
Yeah.
Now,
but they say it in so much passing that you forget it. Like immediately.
That said, at the end of the movie, spoilers, at the end of the movie, he beats the living crap out of Ethan. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can blame it on the fact that they're jumping from place to place and hitting cars and metal objects and different things like that.
Yeah.
But he felt like he had some physical advantage over Ethan, but there was no real reason why. Mm-hmm. And it kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of takes you out of it. Also, something I don't like. he essentially takes himself out of the game.
Yeah.
So,
but why
if you've never seen the movie for whatever reason, why are you listening to this? But Hendrix has the codes and the box that controls the nuclear bomb, and they're in this weird Dubai technology.
It's a car vending machine.
It's a car vending machine.
It was in India.
Dubai. Oh, no. New Delhi.
No. Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Man, they went to too many places. They
went all over the place in this one, yeah. They were in Hungary.
They were in India.
Russia and, yeah.
And so it's like a big vending machine. And they're wrestling through each other. They're running into cars. They're jumping from it. Like, they're hurting themselves pretty badly. And Hendrix gets the case, and they're probably like 50 feet off the ground, maybe 60. They're pretty high.
Yeah.
And instead of just dropping the case and kind of having like a ha-ha moment, he jumps with the case.
Yeah.
Which immediately takes him out of the game, which he could have tossed the case and then wrestled Ethan.
Yep.
Even wrestling Ethan for a minute would have probably caused the bomb to go off.
Yeah. It does feel like a moment where we need a bad guy monologue.
Right. But he just jumps, and now he doesn't die, but he is paralyzed. He cannot move.
Yeah.
And so Ethan does the dumbest thing ever, but also the most Ethan thing ever, and gets into a car and just drives the car off the ledge, slamming into the ground. And he then, oh God, he opens it up, and then he says, what does he say? Mission accomplished. Oh no. Yeah. I know they make a joke about it. Luther was like, you did not say that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I did. I wasn't just, it was a car accident. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was corny. It was bad. Even making a joke about it doesn't make the line good, because you took it serious in that moment.
Yeah, I think there was a couple moments in this one where they knew that they were
hitting some kind of cliche.
Like they were winking at the camera,
yeah.
Like light the fuse. And like in some ways, it's cool that there was a fuse, an actual fuse that turned into the credits fuse, but also like they knew it.
But also, they didn't need it.
No.
They had a detonator. Yeah. They could have detonated it.
Fun fact. Yes. Somebody did the math, and the car going down however many, according to this, it was around 100 feet. But the car would have been moving just a little less than 55 miles per hour. So doing that vertical fall.
So he could have, if it was a newer car, he could have survived.
Yeah, it is survivable.
It is survivable. And his low ability to move after the fact makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So not that crazy. But all in all, the Hendrix part is just so like, he's too old.
Yeah.
His sidekick, I don't know what it was. Never cared for him. He was not a cool sidekick. He was kind of a grunt, but also he was supposed to be...
He was useless. What? Yeah. Okay. Why did Hendrix disguise himself as his grunt?
I don't
to get
know
the codes.
Why?
Like, it is a fun reveal when like Ethan reaches in and grabs and the mask comes off and it's like, whoa. But like also
Wistrom.
Why? The guy actually exists. If they made it where Wistrom was a complete facade and that he didn't exist as a real person, and it was really Hendrix disguised as him all the time,
right?
Then like, okay, that's believable. It's not a real person. He's been acting as this person, and that's where his like other persona comes in,
right?
But there's no point for.
I always thought maybe it was like Hendrix double crossed Wistrom to show that not only is he, or rather, he isn't doing this to be altruistic and save the world, but he actually is kind of evil, you know. like they could have made that turn and you would have been like, oh man, this guy's real bad. He's a bad guy. He's not just trying to do the best for the world, but he's just
crazy.
A
bad dude.
Yeah, that could have worked too. It makes no sense that he was in place, because that just makes you think that Wistrom is incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
So why even have him?
Yeah, it's weird that he shows up later, actually showing up.
Right.
It could have been anybody else. They literally could have just thrown in some random person that we've never seen before, and it would have been fine.
And the job would have been done.
Hendrix is just hiring people. And that's another thing, is if it was Hendrix hiring people to do the dirty work and he was the mastermind, that like I wouldn't have any questions about it. But it's when he starts like he's the one being the double, like being the agent and like putting that and then him jumping at the end, that doesn't make sense either.
Or it could have been what if the whole thing was that Hendrix was the one who went in to do the deal, and then it was revealed it was Rinstrom the whole time.
Oh yeah,
because he thought Hendrix was crazy, and he wanted to use the bomb out of a sense of revenge, whatever it might be, because it looked like it was going to hit New York.
Was it New York or what? I thought it was California that they aimed for.
America.
Yeah.
Either way, and maybe he just hates America. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, or it could
any option could have been better than what we got there at the end.
Wistrom could have been disguised as Hendrix just because they needed a body double to be in there, and then that make them think that they caught the right guy, but then they didn't. Like anything would have made more sense than Hendrix being disguised.
That's what makes that crazier, because if Wistrom would have gotten caught, then Hendrix would have gotten caught. Now that everything is screwed.
It was so dumb. Anyway,
it was a bad plan.
Yeah, so his character really took me out of the movie in several moments. That really bothered me.
Like if he was a guy behind the desk moving the pieces, like a Blofeld kind of guy, where maybe he'll shoot a gun, but he's not the one who's like fighting.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Totally. But the fact that he was the physical foe.
Yeah.
He was this guy who's supposed to be like the most trained guy in the US government. It's just stupid.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to another character that just bugged me so much. The Russian
cop,
detective, agent. We don't know what his job actually is. We know that he is someone who is defending Russia.
Can I just say that he is the most baffling character in the whole movie for several reasons. One, when we are introduced to him, what the F is his problem? First and foremost, bad detective work. Just bad all around. So he escapes. Great. Ethan reappears and he's chasing him. And then all the guys with guns are shooting. And he's there. So So are all the henchmen just Russian cops?
Mm-hmm.
What?
So that brings me.
What was the point of that scene? What was the point of him in that scene? They could have done that scene without him. It just makes him look like he works for Hendrix.
It makes him seem like, literally, who is he and what does he do? And to your point, why does the secretary get killed? Who were all of those people that were shooting? He tells them to stop shooting, which suggests that all of those people are connected to him somehow,
or
and
know
whatever
him,
agency that he works for.
Right.
So that means they somehow found Ethan and the secretary.
Did Russia put a hit out on a U.S. government official?
Right? Like, it makes no sense. It makes, like, story-wise, it's more intriguing to have the secretary get killed. But,
if
like,
logically... If it connects properly...
Yes, logically, it doesn't connect. It doesn't make sense.
If they would have had a scene where they showed Winstrom in the background of the hospital and then realizing that Ethan got away, and so the police go one direction, Winstrom goes another direction, and shows that he is there to finish the job.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. Makes sense.
If they connected that to Hendrix,
all we have is this random pissed off Russian cop, and then apparently the Russian police hit squad.
Yeah.
Who killed the secretary? Who? Now I don't even know.
They weren't even trying to.
I assumed it
arrest
was
them. There
Hendrix.
was an explosion and then gunfire.
Right. So someone hit the car with an explosive device.
Yeah.
And then shot at it.
Yeah.
Which, wild to have no protection on that car, holding 3 arguably very important U.S.
A chief analyst, the secretary of a secret agency,
and the Superman of IMF.
The top agent of said agency.
The Richie Rich of IMF.
Yeah, that bothered me. But that brings me to my next point, which is there are too many convenient characters that exist in this movie to create hurdles or move the story, but they don't have an actual reason to be there.
Yeah.
So the Russian guy, or that dude, whoever he is,
also
the detective, like, he didn't need to exist. The guy that Ethan saves from the prison, there's no reason given really as to why Ethan saves him, other than like blah blah blah, he knows somebody. I don't remember what excuse Ethan gives, but like Ethan gives some reason of like he has information.
Yeah.
And then
that was a setup for an answer they had to have later in the movie.
Yeah, it was like he meant nothing until they needed to connect to the arms dealer,
the fog,
and like the only reason why they connected to the arms dealer was to talk to this Russian dude who I don't know. There was a lot of characters that meant nothing, but like they just conveniently put them in the story because they needed to be there.
Right. Yeah, that's but that is very true.
Their introduction and their purpose of being there was only to fulfill something that happens later in the movie. Other than that, they don't exist.
Also, what kind of jurisdiction do Russian cops have?
That's why I'm saying he has to be an like a government agent,
because he's doing it. He has to be like FBI for the Kremlin or something, because he's investigating the explosion of the Kremlin. Yeah. So he's got to be higher up like that. But then he's in Dubai, and then he's in wherever they're at in India. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the city. Apologies, India.
Yeah, I don't remember where they went.
But he's in both of those places, and he makes the I guess you can say he makes the arrest at the end of the movie. Though, again,
Mumbai. That's
Mumbai. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have jurisdiction to make that kind of. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird all around.
And the only way that he
because Russia wouldn't have been the ones to arrest Hendrix. It would have been a national court. Like, he's committed several crimes.
It would have been Interpol.
Yeah.
That would have had to, yeah.
Maybe he was the Russian agent for Interpol.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's weird.
His character, if they just told us who he worked for, who his daddy was, and what does he do?
Because they make a point of not, like, his attitude is so intense that he can't answer the question.
Yeah.
He never. Why would Ethan talk to him? He doesn't show a badge. He doesn't show identification.
Yeah.
I know it's not America, but law enforcement 101, if someone says they're law enforcement, have them prove it before you say anything.
It doesn't make sense. And the fact that he knew that talking to the gun dealer would somehow get back to whoever this dude is, it all is just convenience for the plot to move the story along.
Yeah.
But not actual.
Yeah. It gave Ethan a reason to leave the room so that Brandt can give his story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, anything else?
The punching sound effects during, especially during the Dubai fight scene. I didn't notice it until I noticed it, and then once I did, I couldn't unhear how cartoony.
It's so bad.
How poorly mixed those sound effects were.
It's so bad. And we just started watching the original 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
Uh-huh.
The hitting sound effects are exactly the same.
It's the same, yeah.
They are so bad.
Yeah. It's
rough.
Like in comic books or the old school Adam West Batman, where you see the words coming up as they punch, like that's what these sound effects were like. You hear the whoosh.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
Like, it sounds like a punching glove hitting leather. It doesn't sound, skin to skin. It sounds like
yeah. Yeah, it was yeah.
It's rough.
That was another moment that took me out of the movie because
every time it happened, my brain just stopped and went, no. Which
I think realistically, it's mostly in the sound mixing side of it.
Yeah, yeah. And the Foley, like it.
Yeah,
not the best choices.
The reality is, Foley like that is not just glove punching something. Right. It's like, we're going to punch something and then we're going to take some celery and like slightly crack it to make it sound like your bones are getting hit as well. And like there's layers and it just sounds like they put the
too many layers.
Well, I didn't sound like they put any layers. It just sounded like they put here's the punch sound and that's it. And not like the sound of flesh getting hit.
Yeah, it had no high ends to it. It was all mids and lows. And
yeah.
So when you have someone getting punched in the face, but it sounds like a mid-low sound, it takes you out, because maybe we haven't seen people get punched in the face, but maybe you've watched enough boxing or MMA or enough movies where they do a really good job of it, and you just stop and go, a face doesn't sound like that.
Yeah.
Like your jaw doesn't sound like that when it gets hit.
My only thought is that maybe because of Brad Bird's background in animation, when he went into the editing rooms, he was like, bump that up, because that's what you would do in animation. You would bump that sound up.
Because I can't I didn't check it beforehand. I wonder if that's what some of the Foley work sounds like in The Incredibles.
I bet you it does.
Because with The Incredibles, it wasn't just cartoony or superhero. It was to recreate the time in which the movie is based when Foley work did sound like that.
Yeah.
The problem was this movie was in 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. We
it
digress.
It's interesting that they are they're doing a mission that's unsanctioned, and they somehow have more equipment than we've ever seen in any other movie. But then also all that equipment breaks. So it's like they have higher quality equipment than the 3 previous movies, but it acts like it's old equipment.
The amount of equipment
everything breaks
that breaks really puts into question. It's too it's making a problem for problem's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're telling me, okay, yes, disavowed, unsanctioned, blah 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 blah. So does that mean that all equipment hubs are filled with piece of crap equipment that are going to break?
Right.
Too many things broke.
Yeah, there's something that I read that said that the director specifically wanted every piece of equipment that they used to malfunction or break in some way, which makes sense if they're doing unsanctioned. Everybody is disavowed. The only stash that they can get to is an old one.
Right. But this cache looked new. Like that train looked brand new.
It's like it came right out of Q from James Bond's lab.
It looked good.
Was like, here's all this stuff. And it doesn't make sense for that equipment to break.
Agreed.
So that really bothered me of like, okay, this is the first time that the IMF doesn't even exist to help them. And they have more equipment than they've ever had before. And it's all faulty. Like,
they really missed out on a good joke or something of, something goes wrong and Benji like looks at the label and is like, made in the USA. I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm winding down here. I think my last thing is I hadn't thought about it until you said something, but when we are introduced to Carter and she's explaining like, this is how we got into the situation that we're in. So we're like really getting the introduction to her character. The first thing that we're told about her is that she's beautiful, which is kind of a weird, like, look, I know that they've always got to have some sort of romance and there's like attraction and like, yes, if you're working with somebody long enough, you can start having feelings for them. But for that to be the introduction to her character is not that she's a capable, well, I mean, it is. It shows her fighting and beating guys up and like being a competent agent, and then that's like undermined by the agent that's dying being like, "You're beautiful. I should have told you all along." And then that I didn't realize that bugged me until you said something.
The reason it bugged me was because it took her motivation and it gave it a 180. And it went from her motivation being a good motivation.
I lost an agent under my command.
Right. I lost an agent under my command. I failed as a team leader. The failure is represented by that assassin.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah. But instead they twist it and they're like, oh, it's because they loved each other.
Yeah, which we didn't need. We didn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
So there were just a couple moments where everything they were doing to build up Jane was undercut by our old friend misogyny.
Yep.
And that sucked. I hated that for her because it really did take away from her character, which it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have taken away. And then she got super weird at the I know what I didn't like. So it had to do with Jane, the misogyny part. Because so we have the scene with the pervert or whatever.
Yeah.
If I met a guy like that, I would be like, this guy's a freaking creep.
Yeah.
So with the creep, and then they're chasing down Hendrix in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just in her underwear for way too long.
Yeah.
They didn't even really need to show her changing. But it felt like they lingered on it for a while. And even there was a scene that I wish they didn't do, but they're trying to figure out their plan. She's still in her underwear, and Ethan looks at her, is clearly looking at her eyes, and then they show him look down and then look back up and then kind of make like a kind of thing, which was just one of those things where it was like, none of this was necessary. Not a single bit of this helped in any way, shape, or form. It just looked like he couldn't keep his eyes off of her. Why? Why even have that in there? I know I know some people would probably just say, just leave it alone, but it just felt so unnecessary. Because I was trying to think. There was a movie. It might even be the next one where someone has to change and they like show a moment, but then camera goes off of the person. And then the next time they're on camera, they have clothes on.
Yeah.
So it just infers like they changed. Great.
Yeah. And
Good
it could have
job.
shown her like, because it makes sense for her to change out of that dress into more mission ready clothes.
But she just kind of sits there for a long time,
taking the strap off, and then we see all the other stuff going on. And then in the next one, maybe it's her like
putting a shirt
on, finishing putting the shirt on.
Right.
And then like, okay, she changed. And like, yeah, I agree. It
just
did
felt
like,
unnecessary.
They treated her like fine through the whole movie. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, she's a sex object.
But it gets worse.
She's hot.
I think it gets worse because when she goes after Winstrom, I know that she gets shot, but there is a clear, like, I don't know if this is the right word, so I'm not going to say it. There's a clear difference in her confidence within herself to accomplish the goal for no reason.
Yeah.
No reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally, I don't know why I said literally. They spend this movie trying to build up this strong female character, and then the last 20 minutes, they just undo all of it and try to build it back to where she's finding her confidence and, you know, doing everything she needs to do to accomplish the goal. And in the end, Benji saves her. So she couldn't actually get it done. Which, whatever that is trying to persuade, or what it does as an afterthought, it just takes away from her character. And then we have the end of the movie, and she's back on the team. Yay, whatever. She's an underling now. She is not the team lead. She is a subordinate. So she's lost her role. She is not back at where she was in the beginning of the film. But we don't understand fully why. Like, there's no time put into it. No one says anything. You just see her go down on the pyramid or go up. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what's important on a pyramid. But she loses her station in the job. And she's just like, yay. Glad to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
It was super confusing. I didn't understand her motivation or anything. When she was used correctly, she was great. She was awesome. But it literally got... Stop saying... So we posted a video on TikTok, and someone made a comment. They're like, stop saying like so much. And it really hurt me deep. And so now I've been really trying to...
One of our videos?
One of our videos. I've been paying attention. And so I've tried to say it less, but now I'm finding other words that I'm saying way too much.
Yeah, way too much.
But
was it me or was it you? Now I'm going to be conscious of it.
Paula Patton is a great actor.
Yeah.
She did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Her character got shortchanged at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
For the last 20 minutes. Everything before that 20 minutes was pretty good, except for the love thing that sucked. But
yeah. I think they could have done a really interesting thing with this movie where every character is coming into this mission having failed at something.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's failed. She and Benji failed their previous mission. That has led them into saving Ethan.
But they technically failed Moscow. So they did.
Yeah. Right. But like that happens. They come in failing. And then Ethan and the two of them fail Moscow. So like there's this big element of failure happening. And then
they almost failed at the end.
And then Brant
maybe they're a bad team.
Yeah. And then Brant comes in and he's feeling like a failure because of what happened with Ethan and Julia.
Ethan and with the secretary.
But and with the secretary. If that was like the thing that was, I mean, they kind of hit on it, but if that was the thing that was like, the team is feeling down because they've all failed,
right?
And then we see them all come back up together. But it seems like Carter's character specifically, like she's failed, but she's still like being tough about it. And then all of a sudden, when she's needed the most, is when she's like, well,
that's when she starts questioning herself the most.
Yeah,
yeah, it's super weird. That would have been the opportunity, because if I recall, Ethan does do a little speech, but it could have been, hey, we have failed. We have failed a lot recently.
Yeah.
But the world is at its highest risk, and we are the only ones who know and the only ones who can stop it. So we need to put that failure aside to complete this mission.
Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
in?
he doesn't really have a motivational moment.
Which he could have, and that would have tied all of those pieces together.
Yeah, because they go from being like sad and fighting each other to, hey, this is a nice plane.
You have friends with money? What?
Anyway.
That's so nice.
Anyway. Favorite characters.
Ooh. Benji was a hoot.
Yeah.
He was funny, but he wasn't too funny.
Mm-hmm.
He was the right amount of, I guess you could say, computer nerd turned field agent.
Field agent, yeah.
Within the realm of when he's trying to get all the numbers printed, and then he gets back into the room and everyone just saved Ethan. And he's like, wow, I almost didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah. What's happening here? Yeah. I think the first half of the movie, he verged on more annoying than I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
But then the second half of the movie is like, okay,
he rocked it.
That's the Benji that we know and love.
Yes. Where he's a good guy, and he's good at what he does. He just needs a little more experience to get to the place that, some of the other field agents are. So he's still trying to shake those things out. The first half is literally. The first half is him exposed in a lot of ways. His noviceness exposed. And the second half is him building confidence within himself to approach his job with the ability. He passed the field test. He's had experience. He deserves to be out there. The second half feels as though he accepts that he's supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
So that's, he has a good, I like his character arc and how he does start out annoying, but I kind of like that because it makes the end of the movie better for him.
Makes him more endearing at the end. Yeah. I want to backtrack for a second. I don't think this is a point that's even worth backtracking for, but I'm going to say it anyway.
You know what? Literally, that's okay.
Literally. Why is Ethan such a reckless driver when they are going? He's there. We are in Dubai. Set the scene. We're going over the desert. There's camels in the desert, and we see a road in the distance, and we see a car passing another car, and like getting way too close to the car on the other side of the road to the point that they add a honking, like a blaring horn. Where it's like, why? And then later in that scene, they're having the conversation. Yeah. He almost hits camels, which are in the middle of the road. And he's been mostly looking at the road this whole time. How did these camels sneak up on him to the point that he almost hit them?
Yeah.
That was dumb. Anyway, Benji was great.
But I do think that's a valid point. So I don't know if this is the dislike because I think we're just getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Brant? I think Brant said it. We got it done, and Brant was basically responded through dumb luck.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like Ethan is dumb luck personified in a secret agent.
Yeah.
And that's how that is modus operandi. And it felt more egregious within the driving.
Mm-hmm.
He's just driving by luck.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big point in the next movie, too, because if I recall, the next movie has quite a driving scene.
Yes.
That is just kind of confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie is a nice buildup of evidence to, no. This isn't a one-off. This is a pattern.
This is something we'll see more of.
All right, character. Did you say Benji?
Yeah, I think I agree with Benji. Jane was so close to being a really good character. Carter.
They just ran out of gas with her.
Yeah.
They were going, and it was going good. And then it's almost as though the writers were writing the story and immediately, Jane has boobs. Let's use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then gave up on building her as a character.
Yeah.
I give a little credit in that they were trying to present her as uncomfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately,
they made it seem like she was uncomfortable because she was in love with the other guy, and so it was not the discomfort of doing something uncomfortable, but it was the discomfort of trying to be like sexy when she was dealing with emotions of love. That's how I interpreted it, and that felt weird.
That does feel weird. With that interpretation, it does feel very weird.
Mm-hmm.
More so than what I was interpreting it as though that idea of something that typically male writers do is a tough woman has trouble being feminine. Or a tough woman has trouble being beautiful. I sounded like I was crying, but I was just joking. Alrighty. Any quotes?
I think there was a lot of good
there were quips
in this one. I enjoyed the scene when at the hospital after the Kremlin explodes and Ethan is like out on the ledge and the detective guy is like looking out at him and looking down at the garbage or the dumpster that's down below, and they just have this moment together. It's not, and I think
he mouths it. I don't think he says it.
Ethan says something about like it seemed like a good idea a moment ago.
Yeah.
Or, like that interaction was just a fun interaction.
Yeah.
And then when Benji is telling them like we have to like physically go to the servers to access the thing, and he's like, we gotta go out there, and Ethan says we, and Benji just quickly is like, well, I'm on the computer, I gotta do computer stuff.
Right. Benji informing Ethan often in this movie, solid. Good. When he's telling him about the gloves, he's like, easy way to remember, blue is glue. And Ethan goes, and red is? And Benji says, dead. Yep. But he tries to pass it off. He tries to say it very quick as dead.
Oh, like, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. Let's see. What other ones? Oh, when they're speaking of code names, why am I Pluto? It's not even a planet anymore. Brant. Well, Uranus is available. Benji sarcastically. Ha, it's funny because you said anus. Simon did a good job.
Yeah. There's the Brant after doing the whole fan magnet thing. And he gets out of that situation. And he's like, next time I get to seduce the rich guy.
You know what? That was the only one-liner in the whole thing that was so cheesy, but also when you look at the whole of the situation, perfect line. It felt like something someone would say when they're put in that kind of situation of, I almost died. I would rather have tried to seduce a billionaire than try to do this one more time. It didn't take me out. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, this is a spy movie, for goodness sake. It was, I kind of agree. That sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
There were a few of the quotes that definitely felt like they were picking up from the Marvel school of making quips. I think is very noticeable. But
some were one too many.
Yeah.
But some of them hit the target well. So I give them credit for that, but also hold off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time for the Review Rewind. We take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. Ultimately, yes?
I'm sorry. I just read the bad review.
Right? So I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But it was, by critics, it was well received. It had a 73% on Metacritic, and I'm going to have a caveat for that. On Rotten Tomatoes, it was 93%. Oddly enough, the audience did not like this one as much as the critics did. So the Rotten Tomatoes audience score was 76%, and IMDb was 7.4. Now, the Metacritic caveat is Metacritic does not organize its reviews based on the release of the original theatrical release. They add all the scores of all the major outlets, regardless of time. So within this score, there are several, and I would say enough to impact the overall Metacritic score from 2015. So right before
the next one came out.
As though they were watching it to prep for their review of the next one, which Rogue Nation was 2015. So literally, just for real.
Yeah, it was people
right before
prepping. Yeah.
So with that said, I don't know if this 73 is accurate, or if at the time of 2011, no, I can't do it by time. But at the time of 2011, if the overall Metacritic score would have been higher, because a lot of the negative reviews are from 2015, or a lot of the ones that go much lower than the rest.
That are more critical of it.
Yeah. So of the lowest scores, 20 to 30% of them are from 2015, while the rest are from 2011, which I think that could have an impact on the overall score. With that said, I have found the lowest one that had some substance from 2011, and the highest one that wasn't too one-liner of, the best action flick of the winter or the year or whatever it was. So you've got the first one. So why don't you go ahead on that one?
All right. We got from Entertainment Weekly. They gave it a 100. They said Ghost Protocol brims with scenes that are exciting and amazing at the same time. That seems redundant. They're brought off with such casual aplomb.
And that's how I've heard it pronounced. I don't know if that's right.
They're brought off with such casual aplomb that they're funny too.
Should I?
So it's amazing. It's exciting.
It's a plumbing.
It's funny.
Self-confidence or assurance.
Aplomb.
Cool.
Aplomb.
Aplomb.
Aplomb. Alrighty. It feels brown nosy. I don't know. It does have excitement. It does have scenes that do look really good.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a lot of self-confidence, and it's funny. Anyway, lowest score, or the score that we're working with, is 60. From Time. This came out December 19th, 2011. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is no Fast Five. That is the 5th installment of the Fast and Furious saga.
Which came out in 2011.
What?
So
a comment. What a boss move to compare it to Fast Five, which, if it's the one I'm thinking of,
I need to know more about this.
Is this the Brazilian one? Is this the one where they end up in Brazil? Yep.
Yeah.
This is Krista's favorite Fast and Furious movie, and I will admit, it's a really good Fast and Furious movie. Like it's pretty good.
It's so funny. Like, okay, looking at that movie, the IMDb rating is 7.3 and the Metacritic score is 66. So like, it's lower rated on average.
It made about the same amount of money,
but it's somehow a comparable movie.
Yeah. I mean, action. Tom Cruise looks just like Vin Diesel. Well, here's the funny part. So, Mission Impossible, Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh, 93%. Audience score, 76%. Fast 5, certified fresh, but 78% on the tomato meter. Audience score, 83%.
So it's a audience loved one, but not a critic loved one.
Well, and I wonder this too, because I wonder if Rotten Tomato does. Let's see. Rotten Tomato does the same thing, so flub them. This has scores from 2023, 2015, 2016, then 2011. So I think it was probably higher at 2011, but there we go. It was certified fresh, so that is... I think this is the first certified fresh.
Of the ones that...
I don't think Mission Impossible 3... I don't think it was certified fresh. Nope, it wasn't. This is the first certified fresh Mission Impossible we've gotten. So, it bears the question. Where do you rate it?
So I gave this one a... Sorry. I gave this one a B minus C plus.
That's where I put it. I put it at a B minus. In that it was, if I had watched this for the first time with no other context, it would have been great. I would have had no issues with it. But I've seen this movie so many times, and then this time I watched it to analyze it as a film. And that's where I saw a lot of the things I didn't like. I don't think I would have known about any of those things when I first watched it. So if you've never seen it, go watch it. It's worth it. It's a great movie all around. If you listen to us this whole time, it has its issues. It's still a good watch. It's still fun. It does the ticket. B minus. Where did we put Mission Impossible 3? Do you have that pulled up?
Mission Impossible 3 was, I gave it a B, you gave it a C. And I said that I'd be willing to negotiate depending on how I felt later, doing a revision on that one. So if we were to average that, they kind of land in the same spot.
Yeah. I'd almost change my Mission Impossible 3 answer to put these two next to each other, but the Mission Impossible 3 right before this.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you that it does squeak by as a better movie. And I think it squeaks by as a better movie because it did a lot more that it hadn't done before, or it hadn't done well before. So we have the love interest. We have Ethan really agonizing, really going through it, and really responding in response to it. We had a really good bad guy in the other one. We had a really good concept of a bad guy in this one, but it just wasn't, it didn't live up to the concept. But it was good ultimately. So
yeah,
I think that they both deserve to be in the B slot, but if we were going to order them, I would put the Mission Impossible 3 before Ghost Protocol. But Ghost Protocol is light years ahead of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
With all my issues aside, light years ahead of those other ones. So it doesn't deserve to be knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like, just to recap, since we're kind of at the halfway point, we have Mission Impossible 3, Ghost Protocol, both in the C plus B minus range. And then we have Mission Impossible 1, which we gave a D, and Mission Impossible 2, which we gave an F.
Absolutely.
So
I still feel strongly about those.
Yeah. Talking about what we've been talking about before, we encourage that if you want to like watch the franchise, 3 is probably the best spot to start in.
That's a great spot.
This one, if you don't watch 3, then start with 4.
Yeah.
Like this
You'll
one
really
is actually
have to.
Yeah, this one is the one that starts. It lights the fuse for what is to come. I didn't remember this. Thank you. But they introduce at the very end of this movie
the Syndicate.
The Syndicate, yeah. Which is
they
like
introduce
super important moving forward.
The plot of the next 3, ultimately 4 films.
Which I wag my finger at this. If they made Cobalt / Hendrix connected to the Syndicate,
that would have been so much. Oh, God,
it would have fixed so many things.
remember our idea, my idea, your idea, our idea of Willstrom dressing up as Hendrix, and then revealing that it was actually Willstrom, and then maybe show Hendrix dead. He could have been a Syndicate agent.
Yeah.
And he could have been the one taking it over. And that it was the Syndicate. Like, it still works as a plan that the Syndicate wanted a bomb to go off to set their plan in motion.
Yeah. It could have been so good. Anyway.
Oh, that would have been great. Why don't we write movies? Probably because we're good at looking at what a problem in a movie is and going, let's do this. I don't think we can do it from scratch.
We'll fix it.
We'll be the editors. We could probably edit something.
Yeah. Which I think one of the main writers for the next movie, who is a key role in setting up the Syndicate and like all of that stuff.
Right.
He was a kind of a ghost writer on this one. Like I think he went uncredited, but he did help
Bruce Geller
fix some things in this one. No, it was
Christopher McQuarrie.
Yes.
He's kind of, he becomes Tom Cruise's guy after so this movie happens, so Ghost Protocol happens, and then Tom Cruise does Jack Reacher, which I think is the first time. Oh, no. He wrote Valkyrie, and then I think he directed Jack Reacher. Yes, he did. So he directed Jack Reacher, which is a Lee Child book. It's adapted from a Lee Child book. And then I say that as though you would know who that is. He wrote a bunch of books about Jack Reacher, who's like a old military cop who is kind of a nomad and helps. He's a military cop who becomes a nomad who basically is Batman, but beats the hell out of people a little more.
Right.
Or no, maybe about the same. Batman beats up people a lot. Anyway.
He does. Oh, yeah. He's like the writer for...
Right. And so Christopher McQuarrie directed that, and I think that was the beginning of everything they do. Because then he does Edge of Tomorrow, he does Rogue Nation, he does The Mummy, he does Fallout, he does Top Gun, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and he's doing the next one. And he's doing an untitled Tom Cruise SpaceX project, which God only knows what that's going to be.
I didn't realize that he wrote and directed these ones, but that makes sense. A lot of directors will write as well. And kind of going back to Skydance, they also are
the main production company for a lot of these.
The co-production for Tom Cruise stuff.
Interesting. So, well, and I know this is a side tangent. If you want to stop listening, you guys can stop listening. You don't have to keep listening to us.
Yeah, we got to the end.
Yeah. Tom Cruise just signed a huge deal with Warner Brothers, I think. And so now Tom Cruise Productions and Warner Brothers are going to be teaming up to make quite a few movies in the future. So it's like a new franchise. Action. I'm sure it's going to be action. I don't know if it's going to be this untitled SpaceX project, but he's definitely going to be doing something big with them.
Yeah, making up for the failure of the MonsterVerse that they tried to.
That was Universal.
Was that Universal?
That was Universal. We are trying to make up for the failure of whatever the hell the CEO for Warner Brothers is.
Oh yeah,
he freaking sucks. He's awful, but he's thrown away so many productions that I'm assuming they have to really try to get some stuff under their belt. And, Tom Cruise is still a pretty good buy-in. When did Dead Reckoning Part 1 come out? 2023, and it made, spoilers for a few episodes from now, I mean, it made $500 million. No, it didn't. Oh, God. Whoa. We'll talk about it. It didn't do as well as it could have done. Wow. Holy crap. We'll definitely talk about it. That's wild. All right. Anyway, sorry. I feel like I discovered something, but I'm also like, I'm going to keep it from everyone.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
I'm not going to tell anyone.
Watch 3 episodes from now.
Yeah. So thanks so much for listening. You can follow us on social media, and you can keep watching movies. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, we have been some other podcast. I don't know. I only listen to a few.
Tell us how many times we said literally this
literally
episode.
Yeah, count it. I'll give you a sticker. Well, keep reviewing those rewinds, and we'll see you next time. Hey! Bye.